All right, everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're exploring something, something I think we've all experienced. Yeah, that
Yeah.
incredible smell
Oh, yeah.
right before it rains.
It really is incredible.
It's one of those things, right? You know it when you smell it, but have you ever thought about like what actually causes that smell?
Right.
And to help us unpack that, figure it all out, we've got excerpts from this paper, and it's
Mm.
literally called The Science Behind Smelling Rain Before It Falls.
Catchy title?
Yeah, straight to the point. So we're going to
Right.
find out why that smell is so captivating. And I got to say, I was reading through this paper and
Yeah.
wow, there's some serious science.
Yeah, it's more than just rain, you know?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And even
This is surprising
a
stuff.
little bit of Greek mythology is in here too.
No, that's always
I
fun.
know, right? So, okay, we got to start with the basics. Like,
Yeah.
what even is this smell officially called?
So it actually has its own name.
Yeah, it's called petrichor,
Petrichor. Okay.
and it comes from two Greek words.
I was going to say, that sounds kind of Greek.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it comes from Petra, which means stone, and ichor.
Ichor.
Ichor. Okay, I don't know that one.
And that one's really cool.
Hmm.
Ichor, according to Greek mythology,
Uh-huh.
is the fluid that flows in the veins of the gods.
Whoa. Okay, so we're dealing with a very
So we really are talking about a pretty
divine scent.
fine scent here. Yeah.
I love it already, and we're just getting started.
That's a great way to think about it.
But okay, I'm all about the mythology and
Yeah,
everything, but
yeah.
what is actually like happening
Yeah.
on the ground
Mm-hmm.
to create this aroma?
Okay, good question.
Like, is it the water itself? What's going on?
Right. So it actually all comes down to
Mm-hmm.
one of the key players is this compound called geosmin.
Geosmin.
And geosmin is produced by these tiny bacteria
Okay.
called actinomycetes.
Actinomycetes. That's a mouthful.
It is, yeah. So it's not the rain itself we're smelling.
No, it's not the water molecules.
It's this
Yeah.
geosmin thing.
Geosmin. Yeah. So
Mhm.
when the ground dries out,
So,
these bacteria release geosmin into
Yeah.
the soil, and then boom, those first raindrops hit that parched soil. They create tiny little air bubbles, right?
Okay.
And those air bubbles, they rise up and then they burst.
Oh, I see.
And that launches the geosmin up into the air
Interesting.
where we can smell it.
Oh, so it's like almost like an explosion of scent then.
It is.
So
Yeah, like little
beautiful.
tiny
That
explosions
sounds
from
cool.
each like raindrop, basically.
Yeah, every time a raindrop hits.
Wow. And so, I mean, we must be like super sensitive to this stuff
Yeah,
if we're picking it up just from those little explosions.
we are.
Like how sensitive are we talking here?
So humans can detect geosmin
Okay.
at concentrations as low as
Wow.
5 parts per trillion.
5 parts per trillion.
Yeah, think about that. I can't even, that's gotta be like,
So try to imagine like smelling.
it's a single drop of something in an Olympic swimming pool.
Yeah, like a drop of perfume
It's insane.
in an Olympic swimming pool. That's about how sensitive we are.
That's crazy.
Isn't that incredible?
That is wild.
Yeah, it's and you know that.
So we're clearly like meant to smell this stuff.
Oh yeah.
But why?
Right, so that probably played a key role in our survival
Oh, okay.
as a species.
So thinking back in time, right?
Yeah, think about early humans
Yeah.
navigating the world, no maps,
No weather app.
no weather apps, right?
Forget the iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being able to just sniff out water,
Yeah.
even from a distance,
Had to be important.
that would have been huge.
Yeah.
Especially in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A real lifesaver.
Literally, yeah.
Okay, so that's the earthy part of it. But
Yeah.
I gotta say, when I think about that pre-rain smell, like, it's not just the earthy.
Right. There's more to it, isn't there?
There's like a sharp kind of electric quality too.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
What's going on there?
You're picking up on another key ingredient.
Okay.
So we've got this geosmin, right?
Yeah, the earthy.
Yeah, that's our earthy one. But we also have ozone.
Ozone. Okay, so
Yeah.
now ozone I always think about like way up high.
Yeah, right. Up in the atmosphere.
Just testing us from the sun and everything.
Right, that ozone layer everyone always talks about.
Yeah.
But it turns out that ozone can also be generated
Oh, what we do?
closer to the ground,
Mm.
especially during thunderstorms.
Okay, so how does a thunderstorm
Right. Good question.
with ozone?
It starts with lightning, right?
Yeah.
Those crazy bolts of electricity.
They're powerful, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they can actually split
Okay.
oxygen and nitrogen molecules in the air.
Oh, wow.
And then,
So it's like rearranging stuff, basically.
yeah, they recombine to form nitric oxide.
Okay.
And then the nitric oxide reacts to create ozone.
So that electric smell is literally like
Yeah.
from electricity.
Yeah,
It's wild.
it is.
Yeah, and then storms also like bring down that ozone-rich air.
Oh, yeah, from higher up, so it's like a double dose
Okay, that makes sense.
of that sharp scent.
Okay, so we have the earthy geosmin.
Right.
We got the sharp ozone.
That's 2.
Is that it? Is that all, or is there even more to this Petrichor blend?
You thought that was it. There's even more.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it turns out plants contribute to the mix too.
Wait, plants? What? Tell me more.
So during those dry periods, right, some
Mhm.
plants, they release oils into the soil. And then when it rains, guess what? Those oils get released into the air
Okay.
along with the geosmin and ozone.
Oh, so it's like it's like a whole
It is, yes, like
party happening when the rain
it's
hits.
like a whole orchestra, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the smell of rain.
It's not just a single note, right? It's
this
a whole like chord.
It's a chord, yeah, a whole symphony of elements, yeah, from the earth, the air, and even the plants.
I mean, it's mind-blowing to think that every time I smell rain, like it's
really
literally like I'm
Yeah.
experiencing this entire symphony of nature.
It is.
But I never even like thought about it.
Yeah, most people don't. And
It's pretty
amazing when you really think about it.
Yeah.
Makes you appreciate those rainy days even more.
Oh, for sure. And you know, it makes me think too, like,
Yeah.
why do we like love?
Why do we love this smell so much?
Yeah, it's not like people are out there like, oh, I hate the smell of rain.
Everyone seems to love it, yeah.
Yeah, what is it about this smell?
Yeah, well, psychologists have some interesting ideas.
Okay, lay it on me.
They think it's connected to this idea of like growth and renewal.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, rain is life-giving,
Yeah, for sure.
right? And so its arrival often signals like new beginnings.
I can see that. Yeah, it's like I
Yeah.
think of like after a hot, dry spell, and then boom, the rain hits.
It's like, relief.
Yeah,
Yeah, everything's going to be okay
that's
now.
a total.
That kind of feeling.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
All comes together.
Yeah.
So last time we were talking about how cool it is that we can smell rain before it even hits, right?
Oh, yeah.
But we also kind of hinted at some potential like applications for all this science.
Right. Like, what can we actually do with this knowledge?
Exactly. And remember that geosmin?
The bacteria.
Yeah, that compound that the bacteria is pumping out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the fact that we're so like ridiculously sensitive to it.
Yeah, like 5 parts per trillion sensitive.
I know, it's crazy. That could actually be like useful.
Oh, absolutely. And in some pretty surprising ways.
Okay, color me intrigued.
So one of the most fascinating possibilities is using that sensitivity
Okay.
to actually find water.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
So like, are we talking like people sniffing out underground springs?
Well, maybe someday.
Okay.
But for now, researchers are working on these super sensitive sensors.
Okay.
That can detect even the tiniest traces of geosmin in the air.
So we're talking like way more sensitive than our noses.
Way more sensitive, yeah.
Wow, okay.
And the idea is that these sensors could be used to map like underground water reserves or even pinpoint leaks in water pipes.
So like instead of those dowsing rods,
Right, exactly.
we'll have geosmin sniffers.
Yeah, pretty much geosmin sniffers.
That's incredible. And I'm already thinking like the impact that this could have, especially for
Yeah, think about places dealing with drought.
yeah, or like water scarcity in general.
Absolutely, it could be a game changer.
For sure. And not just for finding the water, right?
Right, it's bigger than that.
Like I'm thinking agriculture.
Yeah, agriculture, disaster relief.
Hmm.
It could even, change daily life
Yeah.
for people living in those drier areas.
It's kind of crazy to think that something we just like perceive as a pleasant smell.
Yeah, like a nice little bonus.
Yeah, could have such a like huge impact.
That's amazing, isn't it?
But I know you mentioned other applications too.
Oh, yeah.
Like
definitely.
what else can we do with this geosmin knowledge?
So remember those actinomycetes, the bacteria?
Yeah, the geosmin makers.
Yeah, well, they're not just good for making a nice smell.
Okay.
They're actually essential for healthy soil.
Really? Okay, so like how?
So they break down organic matter
Okay.
and they release nutrients that plants need to grow.
So like without them, our soil would be in trouble.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so could we use geosmin then
Yeah.
as like an indicator of soil health?
Exactly. So by monitoring the geosmin levels,
Okay.
we could get a real-time picture of what's happening underground.
So like are we talking like more sensors?
Yeah, you could use sensors
Okay.
or even, train dogs to sniff it out.
Oh, that'd be cool, like geosmin sniffing dogs.
Right. That'd be a great job.
Sign me up.
Yeah, but the point is,
Yeah.
you could, like, see if the levels are too high or too low.
Oh, okay. So, like, if they're too high, that means something's out of whack.
Exactly. It could mean, like, an imbalance in the soil,
Okay.
maybe due to, like, pollution or overuse. So it's like an early warning system.
Okay. I like it. So it's like we're cracking the code of this
Like this.
secret language.
Yeah, the language of scent.
Okay. But now let's talk about something a little more fun.
Okay, hit me.
Remember we talked about those hyper-realistic rain scents?
Oh, yeah, for, like, movies and video games?
Yeah. Like, I'm still kind of obsessed with that idea.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
So imagine, right? You're, like, fully immersed in this virtual world.
Yeah.
You can, like, feel the mist on your skin, hear the thunder, and then, bam, you get that
Boom, that's so
that unmistakable petrichor aroma.
It would be
It
amazing.
would be next level.
Totally next level, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, like, it wouldn't stop at just entertainment either.
Right. Think about the possibilities.
Like, I can imagine these scents being used in, like,
Yeah?
hospitals, spas, maybe even just, like, at home.
Yeah, just to create a relaxing atmosphere.
Like, imagine your house smelling like
Yeah.
a nice, gentle rain shower.
That'd be incredible.
It would be amazing.
Yeah, it's like bringing the outdoors in
Yeah.
a whole new way.
Totally. Okay, but I gotta ask,
Yeah.
how close are we actually to like bottling this magic?
Okay, good question.
Like, can we even recreate
Yeah.
this complex scent
Right.
authentically?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
And it's a challenge, for sure.
Okay, so what are the biggest hurdles?
So remember, Petrichor is not just one thing.
Yeah, it's like a whole
It's a whole bunch of stuff.
blend of things, right?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
capturing that perfect balance
Yeah.
with, like, artificial ingredients,
Mhm.
it's really tough.
So it's not as simple as just like mixing a few things together.
No, not at all. It's a delicate process. It's like composing a symphony.
Oh, okay. I like that analogy.
Yeah, you need all the different instruments.
Yeah, to make it work.
Right. You need all the different parts to make it work.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, it's a challenge. But
Yeah.
I think we're getting closer.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, there's been a lot of progress.
Well, I am officially very excited for the future of rain-scented everything.
Me too.
But before we move on, I've been thinking about something.
Okay.
So geosmin comes from bacteria, right? And we usually think of bacteria as like,
Yeah, bad stuff. Germs.
yeah, like sickness, decay.
Right.
But here they are,
Yeah.
creating this smell that we like absolutely love.
Right. It's like it flips the script.
It's kind of mind flip, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It makes you realize that
Yeah.
bacteria aren't always the bad guys.
Right. Like, I know they get a bad rap,
Oh, for sure.
but they're essential for
Essential for life. Yeah.
life in general, really.
Yeah.
And they're doing all this stuff like right under our noses, literally.
Yeah, and we don't even realize it.
This whole conversation has been,
It really makes you think.
yeah, a reminder that the world is just full of these like
Yeah.
hidden connections.
Hidden connections, exactly.
Yeah, and that like even the simplest questions
Yeah.
can lead to some pretty profound insights.
Absolutely.
Well, and that's what the deep dive is all about.
That's what we're here for.
Uncovering those hidden connections, you know?
Exactly. Exploring the big ideas.
Yeah, and leaving our listeners hopefully with a sense of wonder and a thirst for more knowledge.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
But speaking of more knowledge,
Oh, yeah.
there's one more part of this Petrichor story
Yeah, there is.
that I think we need to explore.
Definitely. We got to talk about the attempts to capture its essence.
Oh yeah, yeah, like bottling that
Mm-hmm.
that earthy magic.
Exactly. That's been a challenge
Yeah.
for like decades, centuries even.
Oh, I'm dying to hear more about this.
Well, then let's dive into the final part of our deep dive.
I'm ready when you are.
All right, let's do it.
All right, welcome back to the deep dive. I'm still kind of geeking out over all this Petrichor stuff.
Yeah, it really is fascinating stuff.
I know, and you know, it's so familiar. Like, who hasn't smelled rain before, right?
Right. It's one of those universal experiences.
Yeah, but to think that there's like all this complexity behind it,
It really makes you appreciate it on a whole other level.
and as promised, we're wrapping up this deep dive
Mm-hmm.
by going into the world of perfumery.
Yeah, we're going to talk about bottling that magic.
Yeah, because I mean, I can imagine like trying to capture that earthy, rain-soaked magic. That's got to be a real challenge.
One of the biggest challenges in perfumery.
Yeah, and I'm really curious, like, where does this
Yeah.
this whole quest even like begin?
So the desire to like bottle the smell of nature,
Mm-hmm.
that goes way, way back.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, think about ancient civilizations
Yeah.
using fragrant woods and resins and herbs.
Right. To like
Yeah, to create like certain atmospheres.
interesting. So it's not a new thing.
No, not at all.
Okay. But like when did this like specifically trying to capture, petrichor?
Okay, so the modern pursuit of that
Yeah.
that really took off in the mid 20th century.
Oh, okay. So pretty recently.
Yeah, relatively recently.
Okay.
Yeah, shortly after the term was coined.
It's funny how like once we give something a name,
Yeah, right. It's like
yeah,
it becomes more real.
I guess it makes it easier to imagine, like
Yeah.
capturing it.
Exactly. And so early attempts at recreating petrichor,
Okay.
those relied heavily on natural ingredients.
Yeah. So they were actually going out there, like
Right.
digging up moss and stuff.
Yeah, trying to extract the essence of moss, leaves, even soil.
Hmm. And I can imagine there were like challenges there.
All kinds of challenges.
Yeah, like consistency and then just like finding enough of the stuff.
Yeah, availability was a big one.
Yeah.
And not to mention,
Yeah.
is it really sustainable?
Right. To be like, stripping entire forests
Yeah.
just for a hint
You
of
don't want to do that.
yeah.
That rain smell.
So that's where like the synthetic ingredients come in then.
Yeah, so that's where synthetic fragrances become
Okay.
really important.
And that was like a big like game changer, I imagine,
Oh, yeah,
for
totally.
this whole like pursuit.
So suddenly perfumers could create these scents
Okay.
that were like more stable,
Yeah.
more consistent,
Yeah.
and way more affordable.
Oh, right, because I imagine like, extracting stuff from nature
Oh,
is
yeah, it's expensive.
expensive.
Yeah, and time consuming.
So, okay, they're using these synthetics now.
Uh-huh.
What were like some of the key breakthroughs in actually,
Yeah.
synthesizing this aroma?
One of the big breakthroughs
Okay.
came in the 1960s
Okay.
with this molecule called, almost a mouthful, 2-methylisaborneol.
Not even gonna try.
No, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
But it had this like really distinct, earthy,
Okay.
almost camphor-like aroma.
Okay.
And that was really reminiscent of like wet soil.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it became a real staple
Well,
in a lot of perfumes that wanted to have that like earthy, grounding base.
so it wasn't geosmin itself.
Right. Not exactly.
But something that like kind of
Yeah, kind of mimicked.
behave a similar.
That had that same kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a lot of perfumery. Yeah, it's like it's about capturing the essence,
Yeah.
not necessarily replicating something perfectly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and over the years, they've gotten really good at this, like blending those synthetic molecules with natural extracts.
So they're kind of like combining the best of both worlds.
Exactly. Yeah, taking the best of both worlds.
So I gotta ask, like,
Yeah.
what makes a truly successful
What are the hallmarks?
petrichor fragrance?
Okay, so it's all about balance.
Okay, I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah, balance is key.
Yeah.
You need that grounding, earthy base.
The 2-methyl whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
Yeah.
But then you got to layer in some brighter, fresher notes.
Oh, okay. So like,
Maybe some citrus.
okay.
That like zingy freshness.
Yeah, I could see that.
Or maybe some aquatic notes.
Oh, okay. To really like
To give you that feeling of water.
feeling of water.
Yeah, and like I said, it's like music.
Yeah, the
You
symphony.
need those different notes
Yeah.
to create the full effect.
And I imagine too, like a little touch of like greenness is important, right? To get that like, damp foliage.
Right, like you're walking through a forest after it's rained.
Yeah.
You need that, yeah. And that's where notes like violet leaf or galbanum
Okay.
come in. Those can add that really verdant touch.
It's crazy how much thought goes into this.
Yeah, it's really an art form.
And I bet there's like no one right way to do it either.
Oh, definitely not. And that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
It's so personal.
Yeah, some people might like a really intense,
Wait,
earthy.
Some people want that real strong earthiness.
Yeah.
Others want something like lighter, more ozonic.
It's all about finding what like
What speaks to
gets to your personal rain scent.
your personal rain. Exactly.
I love that. I gotta say, this whole deep dive has been pretty mind expanding.
Oh, it's been a fun one.
I know. We started with something as simple as like, oh, the smell of rain. And we've talked about everything from like
Bacteria,
Oh, yeah.
Greek
Their
mythology,
teeth pathology.
the evolution of our senses,
It's pretty wild.
and the art of perfumery. It's amazing.
And I think it just goes to show that, like, curiosity
Yeah.
can lead you down some pretty incredible paths.
Absolutely, and petrichor is a perfect example.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even the most, like, familiar things can have all these, like, hidden depths.
Exactly.
Yeah, and all these, like, unexpected connections.
It's all connected.
So to all of you listening, next time you smell that pre-rain scent, take a moment to really appreciate, like,
just breathe it in.
all those elements that are coming together.
Yeah, the earth, the air, the plant.
And even those tiny bacteria doing their thing.
It's incredible.
It really is. It's this, like, sensory experience, millions of years in the making.
It really is.
Yeah, it's a reminder of our connection to the natural world.
And the power of scent.
Yeah, and how it can, like, really evoke emotions and memories.
Absolutely.
Well, what a great note to end on. As always, thanks for diving deep with us.
Always a pleasure.
We'll be back soon with another fascinating topic.
Yeah, we got more deep dives coming.
So stay curious out there and keep exploring those everyday wonders.
We'll see you next time.